as citizens, but ours as the control of the White House, is because they're offloading the national supply of masks and protective gear and ventilators to corporations who then will turn around and sell it for a profit. So a mask that's normally 7 cents could be sold for $7. And this is just outrageous considering the emergency and difficulty of getting masks and testing equipment and everything. And just the baffling thing about why in the world are they resisting moving on this, except that they don't care and are hoping to um, cause natural immunities through the herd mentality. And so let it just run through and so what if older people like myself and people with pre-existing conditions that could be impacted would die? Um, it just would unburden the Medicare system to have a lot of these older people die sooner than later. Anyway, it's very shocking, but what do we do? And I've been noticing, because I've been contemplating this question about once somebody's mindset is created and they are in this place of insanity, what on earth is going on with them? And why is it in the face of just really blatant and obvious, like it's so obvious that he's lying, it's so well documented, and yet they don't care that he's lying. So the value of telling the truth no longer, it overrides any other value that they have. They want a big, strong ass man to be in the White House rather than somebody who would do right by the people. Oh my God. And how come it's not possible? And then I started talking to many of my friends who are progressive, but they have friends who are Trump supporters, or they have relatives who are Trump supporters that they love dearly. And they have basically said, I can't talk to them if I want to have my relationship with them. So we just don't talk politics because they are so set in it. And then I came across a research study that was done by, I'm sorry, I don't have it on the tip. It was either Yale or Harvard. And one of the things they were looking at was if people were saying a lie, and you confronted them and showed them, or holding a belief that was a lie, and you confronted them and showed them with irrefutable evidence that this is a lie, if they really had a strong belief about the lie, they would actually become more entrenched. They would just become completely insane and more entrenched with the lie. So it's like, oh my God, what do we do now? Because pushing against people, you not only lose your relationship with your family and your loved ones, but you also have no opportunity or possibility. But there has to be a way. There has to be a way. And the only thing I can think of is there are some incredible um, communications trainers, the compassionate communication world, and people that train with compassionate communication have a possible answer. And one of the things I've learned from studying compassionate communication myself is that, and there was also another study that also shed some light on this as well, that the only possibility where someone will flip from an entrenched belief system that's a lie to actually an idea that's a greater truth is if the person who's supporting them in training, switching and making the switch is actually someone they trust. So there has to be some love and some trust. So this kind of got me thinking, Because in compassionate communication, one of the things that they talk about is the very first thing that you do when you talk to someone is you connect with them at the heart level. So through making a heart connection, you're then able to get the other person feeling in their heart, and the heart has a level of wisdom. And so once there's that trust that you do love me, I love you, and we have a heart connection going, and the energy of that is happening. And that has to be the primary motive, or the primary intention, is to connect at the heart with the other person. And once there is a heart connection, then you can move into an inquiry of being curious. So I notice, and then you say what the lie is. I notice that you have this lie, and you're holding this lie in a certain way. So I'm curious. Tell me more. Why this lie is so, and you wouldn't necessarily tell them that it's a lie. Why this belief, why this idea is so important to you that it be true, or that it is true to you. What? Tell me, explain to me how this is true for you. And you let them explain, and then you get into an inquiry state of just saying, and tell me more, and tell me more. H- Is this really true? It's sort of like Byron Katie's work. Is this true that it's okay to let old people die? That's true. You really believe that that's the way to go? Is this true? And you just question it. You don't say that they're wrong or they're bad, which would immediately polarize them, but you just keep with the inquiry of getting curious. And you're curious to see if there's any crack or any opening or any possibility that there might be any way to enter into some movement in the conversation, some evolution in the conversation to a little more truth telling. So, but the most important thing is to continue to stay in your heart. So you're not there to make them wrong. You're not there to judge them. You're not there to shine a light on of them being bad or anything like that. And that's about the only way that I've found that there's any possibility, because once someone feels like there's many of us that trust you, and we trust that your research that you went into your movies is true and accurate, and so we believe the stories that you tell us, and of course it makes sense. So, I mean, that seemed quite obvious, but anyway, thank you for the work that you're doing. I think we ought to have a massive convention with all the um, you know really evolutionary communication trainers who really know how to have people talk to each other without and have them do some massive skill building, and then ask the people to call their Trump supporting relatives and begin to have a conversation, but they need support